What were you going to tell us about, John?
Yeah, we'll talk about Sammy, but let's get into the NBA and some of the things. We're not angels exactly, and we'll talk about Sammy towards the end of the show, and I'll cover about what he said about Cosa Nostra, and he's Cosa Nostra to the end. So I'll discuss that, some personal issues with them, the mafia, the Gambino family, and my feeling of his betrayal in his lifetime. Not against me, but against the mafia, against his own family, against his brother-in-law, against a young boy that was murdered, and we'll discuss what Cosa Nostra is to him exactly, his definition.
Well, at least we got something out of you, right?
Yeah, we'll get it later on. We'll get a little bit, yeah.
All right, so we'll do NBA in China. Now, what the hell is this? So now, all of a sudden, after 20 years, 30 years, however long it's been, now because of forced labor, as if they didn't know 30 years ago, now certain players are deciding not to work with China.
Well, what I think is, again, I was being a gangster, a mob guy, a guy that killed. I didn't have the right barometer of how to make money, obviously, for doing some of the things I did. But, now that I look back in retrospect, it was the wrong way to live. But when you're watching the NBA and their behavior to the love of this country, like guys like Mark Cuban, they don't seem to have any moral bound on how they make their money. And, he wouldn't denounce China on Fox News. So, when I look at these guys and they're asking, Tucker Carlson asked him a question, he says, I don't want to be political. You are being political because you're not speaking up for this country, but yet you're becoming very wealthy and rich off this country. But the problem is they won't speak against China because they make tons of money through China and with China.
Or image, it's not because they care, right?
Well, you got movie actors who are ex-wrestlers like John Cena. He's a spineless. I got to tell you, I lost all kinds of respect for this guy.
I did too.
He got on live TV internationally and nationally, and he bellowed up like a bitch. Begging forgiveness, and even said a couple of words in Chinese. I mean, what people can respect him? What family members, don't they say something to him? Where is their wives or their girlfriends or their sons or whoever in their family to say, how dare you do that? When Irving opened his mouth and he took a stand, because that's not easy to do when everybody else is going against you. And he stood out and said, no, I'm not against vaccines. He said, if you want to take one, take one. And if you don't, that you shouldn't have to. And these people that keep jam down someone's throat what they should do with their body. How about the father that was in agreement with getting it jammed down his throat and his 16-year-old son died? What's going on? How do we allow China as if, they're good competitors? These are some of the dumb comments coming out of our government. They're not competitors. This ain't a baseball game. They're looking to take over the world.
It's a beautiful morning in New York City.